I enjoy when it says recording in progress. it's a it's a very it's a very familiar voice and fun voice to start the session with. So so guys, welcome everyone, and we are here today to we have gathered today to celebrate the success and celebrate the journey. Success is one thing, but it's very important to celebrate somebody's journey. So we are here to celebrate the journey of Ashish Ranjan. Um, he has been there one time before to share his journey, his experiences as he moved from support role to a cloud engineer in Microsoft. So today we learned some insights. We'll be able to ask a few questions to him, whatever comes to our mind. Because some people, everybody has different question sets. Some people want to understand, okay, how do you change? It must have been a great task to change from support role to a cloud engine role. Or what courses did you do? What mentoring did you take? Yeah, people have questions like all kinds of questions. I'm not even going to I don't have a predefined list of questions. I have some that people have asked me, so I'll just begin. It'll be a free flow. Everybody is welcome. So if you please raise your hand, we'll be able to have, if you raise your hand in the chat box, we'll be able to ask him your questions as well. Okay. So with that, let me begin in a very non-formal way. So welcome, Ashish. Are you here?
Yes, yes, everyone.
So Ashish, सबसे पहले I'll do it in Hindi and English so that many of our audiences are comfortable with English, Hindi, and English. So I'll keep a mix of these just to keep it very non-formal because a lot of people are afraid that suddenly you have a meeting. I don't know who's coming and maybe we cannot live up to that success that he has had. So I'll keep it simple, right? So, Ashish, tell us something about yourself. I mean, how did you start your journey? How do you came to know about, cloud engineering? How do you meet Aradhya and things like that? And you can start anywhere. It's a free flow.
Mhm. Yeah, got it, Arun. Thank you for the stage, Arun. So, hi everyone. My name is Ashish, and I have been working with Microsoft right now. I have been working there as a cloud and AI engineer, and as I'm working with Microsoft, so like I'm Azure specialist over there. So I do all of the Azure stuff. There's no such vertical or area where I do work. I work in all of the areas. It could be anything. So,
Hmm.
this is like a very short intro about me. I'll go to a bit history side.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. Thank you for the history. I mean, this is a so when you say cloud and AI, so yeah, I mean, majority of the companies have created divisions like data and AI or cloud and AI, and they are forming new names for the divisions as AI is progressing and the cloud is progressing. Most people are like renaming their division. So I understand. So Microsoft is doing that as well. So yeah, you were telling us about the history. Sorry.
Yep. So basically, I started with an organization called Fujitsu in the year 2015, and I started as a support role. So I was working with a tool called Lotus Notes. So few people
Oh
might be knowing
Lord,
about that.
yeah,
Lotus Notes, yeah.
you remind me of my yesteryears where everything was Lotus Notes. Whatever databases we used to store, it was in Lotus Notes. My God, we had it had different tabs and folders,
Yes.
and then we always used to call up support when it was hanging around in between. My God. I mean, I'm amazed that you remind me of Lotus Notes of all the things.
Yeah. So Arun, you thank me later for making you feel nostalgia. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I started with the Lotus Notes, and there I was not doing a very good job. Well, like it was not me that I was not doing it, but the
Hmm.
job profile itself, it was not that good. So in Lotus
Gotcha.
Notes, it was a very diversified kind of tool. Earlier, the people who don't know Lotus Notes, it's a kind of Outlook today. Today is Microsoft Outlook. that we use, or G Suite. So Lotus used to be this IBM tool where people used to send emails, calendar notifications, all those things, and there were a lot of things of Lotus, not only email, but yeah, it was complete Office suite. So I was working as end user support for Lotus Notes for one organization. Okay, and for that role, like I used to get work like someone's email signature is not working, and like someone Lotus Notes application is not working. I have to log into their system, taking remote, and resolve those kind of queries. So that was my job profile. uh, in the beginning, guys, before I continue, I'll tell you one thing. I'm having a bad throat today, so please excuse me, okay, if I stammer or like if I pause in between. Okay.
No, no, we'll just have fun with you
Yeah.
together. We'll
Yeah.
say, ये क्या हाल बना. You remind me of nostalgia. I will say, ये क्या हाल बना रखा है अपना, कुछ लेते क्यों नहीं? It used to be a famous ad, if you remember, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Was it Halls or Wix? चलो
uh
कोई नहीं.
it was I think Wix.
Wix, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll understand. But thank you for doing this in spite of not feeling well. That's okay.
Yep. So I was working on that area. In the beginning I was very happy because I got placed from my college, and like I started working, I started earning money. So that's a different kind of feeling. Okay, for a fresher, you started earning your own money. You are spending everywhere. You're partying on Friday and all those stuff. I was very very happy. But like as the time started going on and we started becoming senior, like when I gained 1 year of experience, then we started questioning ourselves what next, because the project in the year 2015-16, Arun and Arathe, you might be knowing, like these technology were like syncing technology during that time. So we got that zest, like this project or technology won't stay forever, and we don't know like if other companies are working on it or not. Okay, and there are new technologies that were coming up. So we started questioning ourselves, and to put the cherry on the cake, something happened, and that project, like I was offboarded from that project, and I started searching for other projects in my same organization. People from my organization only were not, were not giving me any project, because they were saying you are experienced, you don't have experience in something which is demanding right now, and Lotus Notes. So there's no requirement of Lotus Notes, and they were not giving me any projects. I was on bench for like 3 months. I was like very much depressed during that time. Somehow I got one new job. I studied something about O365. That's a part of Azure SaaS offering, and I landed in a job. But it was not a satisfactory job. I just did it to save myself, so that society won't tell me anything, like you are jobless, or someone fired you or something like that, like to get rid of, or like I just don't want to face that thing. So that's why I just landed into a job. I was like desperately looking for a job, and I landed in one job which was not a very satisfactory job for me. When I joined that job, after some time, I made up my mind, like we'll go in cloud computing. During that time, we tried out many other things. I tried out SAP. I tried out DevOps tool, which earlier it was being used, like Chef, Puppet, all those things. Then I started reading AWS, and after that, we decided, one of my friend and me, like we decided, like we'll learn Azure. So the first thing first, I'll tell you, I did an unethical thing. I just got a certification somehow. Okay, so getting a certification for anything, it's very easy in today's market. You just go, you just pay, and you'll get the certificate. You don't have to even write the exam. That's an ethical thing, and I will suggest no one to do it. But I did it.
Gotcha.
But I did it at that time, just out of
Hmm.
desperation. Like if I'll get a certificate, I'll get a job. That's not going to work.
Right.
I got that
Yep.
certificate. I remember it used to be 7533 at that time. It
Mhm.
was not like AZ 103, 104, 301. It was 7533 at that time. I got that certificate, but again, it didn't help me out. But yes, I started studying Azure. And when you say you are doing some things, then like the whole universe tries to push that things to you towards you. So that when miracle happened, it was just a normal day. I was I came from my office lying on my bed, and I was scrolling my social media. Then I saw Aradhya's post on this Azure training thing, and I was like very much fond of Azure at that time, because I wanted to go into this cloud computing thing completely. And like when I used to connect with my different peers who were working on the same kind of technology I was working on, and they were my seniors, they used to say me like, if you want to go in Azure, what in Azure? Like there should be a specific domain, like there should be something like you want to go in Intune, that's a part of Azure, or you want to go in.
Absolutely,
uh,
it's a very vast area with so
yeah.
many opportunities available, so many things to study. So I mean, yeah, you are addressing a very important thing because many people have the same thing. You know, it's vast, and what do I do?
Mhm. Yeah. So that's where I saw like there are diversified roles as well. There are vast areas, and the roles are also diversified in Azure. Like if you'll see, there is administration job, there is DevOps job, there is architecture job, there is then development job, there is IoT jobs, there are AI jobs. There are lot of things, lot of diversification with Azure. Okay, so our focus were architecturing with the Azure solutions. So we started reading that, and out of the blue something happened. Okay, and Aradhya's post came in my social media. So I thought like it's just a general post. Okay, but I thought let's give it a try. What I did next is I called him. Okay, I called him and I asked him about like, hey, what is this and all. And during that time there were very less resources available for anything, because the first thing is social media was not that hyped during that time, and the second thing, YouTube and other platforms as well, it was not very mature at that time. So yeah, things were growing up during that 15, 16, 17 time. And yeah, I saw someone who will be giving me training. Okay, and I didn't at that time, I didn't even like whether he is even a legitimate guy or not. Okay, but I gave him it a try. I connected with him, I told my problem to him, like, see, I would be very frank, and these are my problem, and you help me getting into the job. So yeah, everything happened, and we started a training. So at that time I remember like there were few people in that training, so in the session. I used to join the session I really like it. So it used to happen on weekends in the evening, 5 to 8 p.m. And I used to join that session, and like I started studying Azure. See, before I joined Aradhya's session, the world was like, I was able to build a VM on Azure. I was able to see the web app. I used to put the public IP address on the browser and see that the default page, and that shows up. And I used to be very happy, like I have studied Azure, and I have read few docs, Microsoft docs. I studied about energy storage and all those things. Okay, from a very high level. So I thought like, and that's only the scope of Azure. But once I started learning with Aradhya, then I got to know it's basically it's an ocean. So Azure, it's a very small word. It's a uh, it's a word with five letters. That's it. But if you see, it's an ocean. It's an ocean of things. So we started learning. We started deep diving into everything. Okay, whatever is possible. We learned about VM, we learned about storage. Okay, we learned about networking, we learned about web apps, we learned about network security groups, load balancers, from firewalls. There are a lot of things we we studied. The the good part which I saw in Aradhya's course was the first of all, hands-on experience. Okay, and which he used to give. Now, see, you will get hands-on experience everywhere. Okay, you you join any course, any free course, okay, any paid course, everywhere you'll get hands-on experience. But the real catch is when they say like, okay, we are going to create this VM. they will just click next, 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 and there will be some critical point. They will say, I will be taking this as default for now. They won't say you why they are taking it as default. Because see, in real scenario, you won't, you suppose you are creating an architecture for an enterprise,
I
and
will say it in I'll say it in a funny way, Ashish. So when we say hands on, तो हमें ये देखना पड़ता है कि वो हाथ किसके हैं, because an experienced hand is always different from a novice hand. So
yes.
somebody like Aradhya, who has like spent many years as an architect,
Hmm.
he has an experienced hand. He'll be able to answer questions, just like you're saying, कि
Hmm.
default क्यों लिया? Why did we take a default when we could have done anything else? So he will be able to answer that.
Hmm. Yeah, that's correct. So that actually helped me, Arun. So that was the key point, like which was segregating me from the other people when I gave the interview. I would be coming to that point. Sorry, guys, I'm taking this a bit long because I want to explain.
No, please. This is a beautiful story. Please take your time, the way you want to describe it, and then we'll open it up to questions if any. So take your as much time as you want, please.
Yep, sure. Thank you for that. And like the thing which Arun said and which I said earlier, like why we are taking default, why we are not taking anything. Like I'll give you a small example. When we build a VM, so there are three options we can take for our this OS disks. Okay, there is a standard HDD and standard SDD, and there is one more. Uh,
Ultra disk.
yeah, ultra SSD. So there are three options. So if I go to other hands-on, okay, which I already did before joining Aradhya's course. So what they used to do, for now I'll be taking standard HDD. Hey man, how would I know what is standard SSD and what is ultra SSD? How would I know that? They would never explain that thing. See, creating a VM in Azure, I can create that in 2 minutes. Okay, that's why Azure is there, or other cloud competitors are there. But also I can take like 3 or 5 hours to create that VM. So there's a difference. Like if you are learning why a VM is important, you have to learn those things. Okay, uh, what uh, what disk size would be. So they used to say like I will be taking 128 GB for now. They never said like why they are not taking 256 GB, or if they have taken 256 GB or 512 GB, why they can't go back to 128 GB. So see, these are very basic questions, or very, there's a ground foundation thing. If you don't know that, you can't build a building. So there's a saying, like if you don't build the architecture or the structure of a building, you can't build a good building. Because see, that foundation thing is very important. So and I gave a very basic, very basic example of a VM. So that thing happened with other things as well. Like I'll take one more example for storage account. If you enable the infrastructure encryption, okay, so first of all, what is infrastructure encryption? So in a general hands-on, what happens is they will tell you, hey, I'm for now I'm going to take this as default. Default is no. So they won't enable the infrastructure encryption, or sometimes they will enable the infrastructure encryption. Now these are the settings. If you did it in the starting, so you won't be able to change it. If it is set as no, you are not able to enable it. If it is set as yes, you are not able to disable it. Okay, after the storage account is created. So these are few resources which are by design built something like that. Okay, so and these are the basic foundation, because you are setting in an enterprise, you are building an architecture, you build something, you build a storage account, you didn't enable the infrastructure security on a sorry, infrastructure encryption on a storage account. Now your infrastructure is running, your everything is getting built up. After 1 month, CTO of that organization comes up to you, hey buddy, why didn't you enable infrastructure encryption? Then you'll tell them uh, to the CTO of the other organization for which you are working, hey, you didn't ask me to enable it. Then he will reply, hey, I came to you for my work because I don't know how to work on it. My business is
You know,
something else.
as you're speaking like this,
Hmm.
if I was the client, I'd say, hey, guys, you were the experts,
Hmm.
and I trusted you to do a great job. I trusted you to, be a trusted advisor to me and tell me what I need to do. And if you are giving this answer to me, I mean, I would have, because I'm as somebody senior in the organization, I would have let the company go. Seriously.
Hmm. Yep, yeah, and that really happens. So it has been a month, and there's a lot of storage in your storage account. It could be a data lake storage. Okay, there's a lot of data thing going on. If it is a data lake storage, there would be a lot of data, and you're not able to enable the infrastructure encryption. Now, what would you do? So that's something that's foundation. And when you say like you want to become an Azure architect or a cloud architect, you have to know this thing, because cloud architect won't be coming down and building these things. Okay, they have to take the decisions. So how you would be taking the decisions if you don't know these things? Okay, so that's something hands-on which I got in Aradhya's class. Okay, that's something during that time we used to do a lot of PowerShell queries. We used to upload things on storage account. We used to download things from storage account using PowerShell. And frankly speaking, that was like a very
Yeah, I remember that as well. PowerShell.
yes.
Okay.
So it was like a very miraculous surprise to me at that time. Like it was very fascinating, I would say, like how things are getting downloaded, uploaded, and all. Okay, and I learned that thing. He used to give us the task, and like we used to complete that task, and like it was a very funny way. We all read, and then the journey continued. I went into a different organization. I went into like Tech Mahindra in Azure migration. Okay, I got a very amazing project over there. Company-wise, Tech Mahindra, it's a Indian management, so I'm not going to comment on that. It's a good company, but yes, like the project which I got in Tech Mahindra, it was very amazing. I got Azure migration, each and everything which I learned in Aradhya's class, it got utilized over there. I so at that time what I thought, okay, in my mind, I'll tell you, I have never spoken this thing to Aradhya as well. Okay, but I'll tell you today. I thought like, hey, whatever I paid to him, okay, it got it got redeemed. Okay, I am able to redeem each and every penny which I spent on the Rajas class. Okay, the day I got the job and the day I got the project, because it was a dense learning project. I learned a lot, and whenever I used to have problems, so I used to ping him, and he is like anytime available kind of person. Okay, he would reply you right now. If he is not available because of something, he would be replying next morning. Next morning by 7 8 a.m. you will be getting his reply for sure. That's one of the great thing, like the reachability of the people. Yeah, you know what, I also took one more course during that time with a very famous brand. I won't be taking the brand name, okay, for obvious reasons. And it was not there are a few brands which used to give you sessions in 500 or 1000 rupees. It was not that brand. I paid heavily to that brand. Okay, for getting uh, you know this Azure training thing. And you know what? How their live session used to be is, you can't ask any question. Okay, you can't be interactive in that class. So it used they said it to be a live class, but I don't think it was really a live class. I thought they were running a live recording, because the trainer is giving you the training, and you can't ask any question over there. Yes, you can definitely put up some questions, but that questions will be answered in 1 or 2 days. And it was like a very very famous organization which was giving that training. And frankly speaking, i I took 2 classes of them, and I never joined that class. I paid in full because I don't have any options. I at that time I took that class in EMIs, and I paid the EMI for next 6 months, but I never joined that class again. Because see, that class was not interactive, and that happens with a lot of people. I have seen many people, they were investing in courses, and they are just not reading it because the class is not interactive. So interaction is like one of the most important thing uh, that you have to do. And see, my story, I started with, see, I don't, frankly speaking, I didn't get very good marks in 10th 12th. Okay, it was like average kind of student. Okay, and after that college as well, I got in tier 3 college. And after that, I got placement as well. So see, from a society perspective, my life was going good. I got a job, everyone is happy, mom, dad happy. Okay, other people in society is happy, sad, whatever, seeing me in a job. Okay, but the real thing is whether I am happy or not. But that is something, I was able to see my future. And what I was able to see is, like, after some time my job will be obsolete and I would be finding a job and I won't be getting a job because I don't have any experience. So that's something I got from Aradhya's class. Okay, I started, really, I'm not able to express that thing. I started it with, like, nothing in my mind. I was thinking, like, I took a huge burden on my mind, like I have to do it. And I started his course with like zero expectation. I'll frankly tell you, I started with zero expectation, but I didn't know like it would be so fruitful. And see, guys, trust me, guys, if it won't be, so much fruitful, I won't be coming to this session today. Okay, because it.
आशीष एक बात बताओ
Mhm,
आप so in English tell me something.
mhm,
um, a lot of people, as you rightly pointed out, so why can't I just take a book, like मैंने कोई भी book उठा ली, right, and
mhm,
then I'm on somebody's notes,
mhm.
or like you said, people do this fake experience and fake certificates and all. So why can't I just pick up a book, read it in 1 hour, the top level items in 1 hour, and appear in an interview, and somebody can refer me, and I get selected. How will you do? Is it possible to do a job like this every day?
See, if God's being very great on you, I'm not sure if you get it. But in general, I'll tell you, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. See, I used to take the interview. Okay, I used to take a lot of interview. Okay, for and every like last week itself, I was taking interview for some hiring, and that guy, he was trying to read out from AI. Okay, so when you take the interview, you generally in an organization, an experienced person used to take the interview. It's not a new person who's going to take the interview, right? So when the experienced person start taking the interview, the first question you will ask, they will be able to answer in front, because you read the top things from your book or AI or whatsoever. Okay, so you'll be able to answer, but the way you answered will get you. No, there is something wrong. Then I will start going deep
So,
dive.
can you give me an example of, like, just let's say you ask somebody a question and they will answer in a typical way, right? How do you how are you able to make out that the answer is they're reading from some AI or some book or some notes, some sticky notes that they put and posted? How does it make out? Give me
Okay.
one example just for fun, because this is one question that a lot of people think. Okay, I'll put posted notes and I will pass.
See, what happens is, see, suppose I'm asking you something from storage account. Okay, so I asked you, hey Arun, tell me something about Azure storage account. Okay, so you will tell me something about the storage account. You will read it out from that note. Till that time, I won't be able
Yeah,
to
I'll tell
get.
you. I'll tell you. Azure storage account is this thing. It has four, three or four types. I'll give you a generic answer, right?
Uh, yes, you give me a generic answer. Now, as an experienced person, my expectation would be, I don't want to get the definitions from you. Definition I can also read. You can also read from Google and a lot of other sources. So I will start asking scenario based question from a storage account, like uh, obviously the years of experience you are having. My question will quickly shift on something like, hey, suppose I have a storage account in subscription, I want to access it from subscription B. We do have a hub and spoke kind of model, and I want to set up a private endpoint. uh, how I would be setting up the DNS server for that? Now you tell me. You have a complete script for storage account, but I ask question on DNS server which is related to
Sir,
storage
wait.
account.
I'll say, sir, wait. Give me like couple minutes. I'm typing in ChatGPT to get you the answer.
Yeah, yeah. So that thing, and now like he'll say, hey, I don't know much about DNS servers or the private endpoints. So people used to dodge this kind of question like this. So then I will quickly move to, I will I'll put my hand on storage account itself, but I will quickly move to something else. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, you tell me. for a general storage account, you are using a MMK, Microsoft Managed Keys. So, what kind of identity you are using? Now, see, my question shifted from networking on a storage account to identity. Now, both are different topics, right?
Absolutely.
So, like whether,
Yeah.
yeah, whether it's a system assigned identity or a user assigned identity, what is it? And if, even if it is a system assigned identity, then whether it will be enabled by default or you have to enable it. Okay, so these are the scenarios where everything will fail. You go and ask this question to Google; they will not be able to answer correctly. One side will say yes, it will be able to create. The other side will say no, it can't create. Okay,
No,
so
even ChatGPT, if you ask the question and say, but I have done a lot of fun with ChatGPT. I'll go ahead and ask a question, and then I'll say, I don't think you have given me the correct answer. Did you think about this? And ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever will immediately respond. Thank you for correcting me, sir. Yes, yes, you are correct. Previously I did not consider this, and then they'll give an answer. So they are just machines. They are learning from us, man.
yes, yes. So there is a term in AI which is called as hallucination. So that's where ChatGPT and every other AI start hallucinating. So
Exactly. Sometimes I keep on asking, hey ChatGPT. Sometimes at night I just want to have fun. I say, ChatGPT, are you drunk? Are you hallucinating? Sorry, and they says, sorry, certainly, sir. I apologize for that, and they'll it's funny. It's funny. It's entertaining.
yeah, so
All right.
that's what happened in the interview. I have seen people like they try to use Perplexity, and they also try to use ChatGPT or other tool. That what like I it's like I thought that's what I thought, like they are using this kind of tools to answer my question. But the my question will shift from anything to anything, from a private
Mm.
endpoint to identity. If they are able to give the identity, I will be stuck in this encryption itself. Now encryption will be, I want to use a customer managed key. How would I use it? Okay, then they will say, okay, even if they are able to answer with the something, they have a very good tool, they have very good experience with this. Now my question will shift to where you will be keeping your customer managed key. They will tell me like, I will be keeping it at key vault. Then I'll ask, I want to use a centralized key vault. I have a lot of
Yeah.
subscription. I have a hub spook model. I want to keep my key vault in the hub. How you will fetch the keys from the key vault? How you'll allow your network? See, I will be, I kept my question on storage account, but I hovered it towards a lot of other Azure services. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
So
that's
unless so the key message is, unless you have done hands-on practice every day while the class is going on, while somebody like Aradhya or wherever you have done it from, unless you have a very experienced instructor who's like battle tested, there's no way in hell that you can just fake it. Maybe in the first interview when you're talking to the recruiter and you say big fancy words and all the services, maybe they are impressed. You have a great resume, the great ATS score, and gets you in. But you're not going to survive in the second and third round. No
yep,
way.
Yeah.
yep, yeah, that
One more
happens.
thing. Yeah,
All right.
One more thing. Arun wanted to highlight here. So what Ashish is saying, he's saying whenever he's asking the question from storage account, same time he will ask the question from other services. So the problem with
I
the
know
new generation
exactly.
is,
If you're,
but
yeah.
so what they are doing, they are learning one or two services. For example, I'm learning Databricks and Data Factory. Then I'll think, okay, cloud is for me just Databricks and Data Factory. In real-time situation, whenever you're planning to implement or whenever going for the interview will ask many questions from the multiple services. And here in our course in Azure Mastery Program, this is the region we are covering lots of services, around 30 to 40 services we are covering. The region, it will help you to crack your interview. Here we are covering the administration, architecting, development, automation, and many other types of services we are covering so that you can provide a solution. Otherwise, you will work like the labor. For example, a person who is working in Databricks, they don't know anything. They can write the code in Databricks. That's it. Same time, a person who is working on the Power BI, what they are doing, they are just designing the dashboard. If you tell anything to do, they will depend on someone else or they can't do it. They will raise the hand, okay, I can't do it. It's not in my scope.
Yeah.
So cloud
And
is all about.
which is why people that do, like, let's say ADF or Databricks or Power BI or any other Tableau or Snowflake, eventually if they want to rise up, that's the next step where they, if you have to grow into an architect, you need to know various services and various perspectives. I mean, a lot of people, if somebody's asked which service, if the client comes and says, because a client like me needs you to be an advisor, so I say, hey, if I want to migrate from X to Y, and I intend to take my company to the cloud, can you suggest me some options? Say, oh, sir, but I learned how to copy, like how to ingest and do, but I don't, I cannot answer questions on which services will be better, how much it will cost me. They can never answer those kind of questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
They'll say, I only know that I got a 1 month free subscription, and I only know the cost that Microsoft paid me $200.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Another fact is in IT industry, in India, more than 2 million people are working in support program, maybe directly or indirectly, they are the part of support program. The people who are working support program, at least 70 to 80% candidates are struggling. The reason, someone say, hey, I'm the part of industry since last 15 years, and my salary is just like the peanuts. I'm getting 10 lakh, 15 lakh, that's it. My experience is 20 years and I'm jobless. Now I'm not getting even a single call. So the problem is, if you're working on the legacy technology, if you're working on the outdated technologies, then a time will come up when you have to, either you have to take the retirement from industry or you have to grow. So either do it or wait for some time. Whenever you lose the job, then you have to take the action. So smart people, smart candidate, what usually they used to do, doesn't matter whether a person is from BI background, maybe from sales or marketing background, HR background. Even I know lots of HRs. Earlier they were working as a HR, but now they're the cloud professional. Even in my team, I have one candidate who is from UK location. He's from India, Noida location, but he's deployed in UK. And earlier he was working as a HR manager in SCL Technology Limited. Nowadays he's working as a cloud engineer. So doesn't matter what your background. The matter is, are you curious? Are you ready to take the challenge? If yes, the industry will welcome you. Even lots of, I know lots of people, at least 50 people, they're not from even IT background, but
Yeah.
they're working in cloud.
I wanted to ask both of you, like, because we are having a free flow conversation without any, a specific strategy here. So, one thing I was surprised by, not really surprised, I'm used to it, but many the audience member may be surprised. So Ashish said something like, he was living a good life, parents were happy, and although he did from a lesser known college and less reputed college, he said he was not a topper of like 10th and topper of 12th. He was just an average student, and then he got into an average college, and he said it was a three-tier college. So, and I have seen a lot of examples where some of your people come from small cities, and after doing the course they've been able to. So how does, I mean, isn't it difficult to do? A lot of people think, hey, it must be really difficult to do Azure services, and it must be really difficult to secure good offers. So how does it work? I'd like to listen from both of you actually. Tell me. Let's say I got 60% or 59%, 55% my 10th and 60% my 12th. I'm just imagining, making up a hypothetical story.
Okay.
And then I did a BSc IT, or I did a BTech, or maybe I did an MBA, BCom MBA, and now I want to learn this. Won't it be difficult for me because I've been into support? Let's say like Ashish Ranjan, he did only support, so I know only Excel, SQL, a little bit of Power BI. Tell me about it.
Okay. I'll go. Aradhya, give
Yeah,
me that
sure.
opportunity to
Sure.
go.
Sure.
Okay. I will be telling a few things over here. Please try to connect the dots. Okay. Whatever like I have spoken from last 45 minutes. Okay. I will be
Sure.
speaking few things over here. Okay. To answer your question. Like first of all, you right now you told like you got 55% or 60% and 12th, and I'll tell my fact. I got 33 marks in mathematics in class 12th. Okay, so 55% is way high for me. And percentage wise, yes, I got near around 65% in 12th. Okay, I'm sharing these personal things. Please don't share it anywhere else. Okay, just no pun intended. Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Then, like I started working with my organization's parents happy, society happy, everyone is happy. This guy started that thing. Okay, think about his marriage, all those things, blah blah blah. Okay, but I started to find something which I can do for a longer time and which is good to me, good to my family, and good to my coming family. So I started studying Azure and everything. Okay, I told that story. Okay, now what helped me securing the position? The first thing is, Arun, you asked me a question like, how do you segregate between the people who are reading out a script on in an interview, and
Exactly, मतलब क्योंकि you are appearing for a FANG company, Microsoft, when Microsoft or other FANG companies, they have a higher standard in recruiting. So it is tough for somebody from a background that I described, whether it is my background or your background. It is an astronomical task to just make it to the interview.
Yep, definitely. I'll tell you how I cracked this interview. Okay, what I did, what I studied, leave it to Aradhya. Okay, it's his headache. Okay, how he groomed me, what he did. Okay, I don't want to discuss that. He will tell. I already told that thing. Okay, now how I got into Microsoft, how I gave my interview. So and I got this there's an interview scheduled and everything, and that email and everything. Now the first round of interview, it was a HR interview. It's easy to clear. Okay, I cleared that. Okay, like they ask the questions like, do you know this thing, you know that thing? Okay, and they are, if they are comfortable, they will send it for next round, which would be the first technical round. Now my first technical round started with this kind of questions only. What is VM, and tell me one of the Azure service which you are very comfortable with, and we'll be asking question on that. The interview started with that, but I deviated the interview completely. I started talking about my project which I did. Okay, now, and I explained them my project completely. It took me, the interview was scheduled for 1 hour. It took me 1.5 hours to explain my project to them. Okay, and you won't believe, I don't know whether you will even believe it or not, or you'll say this guy is faking. But after that explanation, I asked them, do you have any other question? The interviewer panel said me, no, you explained it so well, I don't have any other question. I'm just recommending you first this next round of interview. Generally we don't tell that to the interviewee. Like we tell them like, we'll give the feedback to HR and HR will reach out to you. But at that time I got that feedback. Okay, you gave it so well, I'm going to give it to you round two.
So give me 1 minute. So we have a gentleman in the group. He's named himself Red MI, right? Red MI, can you please introduce yourself to the group? Because he was saying the purpose is missing. He's not finding his purpose. So I want to help him find the purpose of the meeting, which was nothing but experience sharing, storytelling, and asking questions. So Red MI, can you please introduce yourself and go ahead, ask your question? Because I want to make sure that you get value for your time. You are able to get your questions answered. We can do ours later. Red MI, can you please unmute and introduce yourself?
I think he or she was the spammer. He dropped.
Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, some people just they don't understand the value that other people are getting, and they'll be like all over the place. And when you ask them to introduce themselves and we get a chance to politely answer their questions, they run away. It's a pretty usual thing. It's okay.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, let's not deviate from the topic. So see, okay, this this thing happened. This happened for good. I'll tell you, because this kind of distraction you'll be getting while you are reading as well, while you are learning. Okay, so this kind of distraction will come to your life as well. Okay, and you have to tackle those things. You have to set your focus and move ahead. Okay, long story short, I'll cut to my interview. So after the first round, I was redirected to my second round. Now for my second round of interview, the second technical round of interview, I was asked to tell me something about my experience again, and I told them, and the interviewer were so happy. See, at that time, or during any time, you won't be knowing each and everything of Azure or any other cloud services or any other technology. You can't be, you can't learn each and everything. That's impossible. Okay. So when we interview someone, so we try to find out like what's the real in them to study the things or to find out a solution. If you are a problem solver, you'll get you'll get roles in Fang or Mang kind of companies. And like if you are just studying or reading out a script in an interview, it's not going to work. Okay. So that's one thing, how I how I gave my interview and how I ended up in Microsoft. So and that was a very fascinating story. I enjoyed that day because the interview started and I started giving interview in such a way, and this happened. And I want to bring up one more topic, Arun and Aradhya. Okay, I'll take another 2-3 minutes. So what happened is, this was the time when I was giving interview. Okay, so same thing will happen with you guys as well. You will be setting up and giving up the interview, and interviewer will be asking you the questions. Hey, what is storage account? What is network security groups? What is a virtual machine? If you give the answer, then they will go to next level. If, what is what are virtual machine skill sets, or what's the different resources within the storage account? Those kind of question. Then if you answer that, then next level will come up. Now, if you want, you can change the interview structure. Okay, like you are giving the interview, but you can change it. You just start speaking about your project. Now, you don't have experience, you don't have prior experience, and so did I didn't have any prior experience in Azure. So what project I talk about? Okay, like for Microsoft, before Microsoft, I was in different organization where I worked on Azure.
I think Ashish, you read my mind absolutely, because people ask, I don't have real experience on projects, but I've done some capstone projects, I've done some personal projects or academic projects. How do I showcase, and how do I structure the interview in my direction? So thank you for bringing up this wonderful topic. Please go ahead.
Yep. So, like when I got placed in this Tech Mahindra, so what project I explained to them, it was Aradhya's project, which I learned with him. And frankly speaking, it was a very fascinating project. It was not like you do next resource created. See, that thing anyone can do. A 5-year-old kid can do. Just open the Azure portal and give it to him. He will just click the mouse, next, and it will be
Absolutely.
created.
I think they're much smarter than us. Where if you give them, our generation was not born with an iPhone. Today, like even a toddler, 5 years, if you ask him how to click a picture, how to do this, how to do that, they will teach you today how to do Instagram reels better than us.
Yes, definitely. So, like whenever you whenever you just give the interview, first thing they will take the basic knowledge from you, whether you know Azure or not. Okay, if you are able to pass that thing, the next item they will go, it's on the project side only, like what project you have done. So during that time, what happens is, like if you have taken the course from somewhere else, because I took it, that's why I'm reciting that out. You won't be able to give a real-time hands-on scenario to them. Or sometimes interviewers also ask, hey, tell me, today is Saturday, and the interviews are generally scheduled on Saturday and Sundays. So he will ask you a question like, hey, what did you do on a Friday? You're working with Azure, okay, but like you're not working with it. But for interviewer, like he knows like you work with Azure. So he will ask you,
I
hey,
would say, just for being funny, I've heard some people saying, "Sir, Friday actually I don't work. I go to the office 3 days a week, so I was not working." Then they'll ask you, "What? So what did you do between Monday and Wednesday? Just describe a day in your life."
yeah, how your day looks like as a Azure engineer or DevOps engineer. They will ask you that kind of question. Okay, so that's where the real challenges comes up. Okay, you know what a VM is, definitions, storage is, few other services, but what you did on the last week. So that's something you will gain from this Aradhya's class. That's for sure. because when he started teaching us, so like how he structured it, it was like he gave us the basic details of all the services, like this service he used to do this, and like in a like more depth way. I am just saying it in high level. Once that was done, he just moved to next move to the project experience. that that's more important. The real time projects that you are doing, real time architecturing that you are doing, that's more important. If you are taking the architecturing course, you have to understand, like, see, okay, someone bring up this diagram.
Yes. So, guys, what usually I used to do, first I start with the foundation. Once your foundation be clear, then against this foundation, I'll talk about some of the use cases. Against that use case in live session, I'll draw the architecture. You see, whatever the architecture you see here, all these architecture, I'm drawing the live session. It's not a copy paste from somewhere. Here in the
Yeah,
live
I have
session, I'm drawing
not
it.
seen. I have not seen. I'm in US, so I've seen a lot of courses, and even the topmost courses. First of all, they're extremely expensive. They run into thousands of dollars, and they don't talk about like. I mean, they'll draw academic diagrams here and there, but they don't go through the use cases. They don't go through all the diagrams that you have done. And I think it's a unique course
Yeah,
that probably just you
correct.
are
So,
having.
so
Yeah.
the thing is, in case anyone is planning, suppose you're planning to start, so first you should be punctual in the session. Point number one. Point number two, I'll suggest everyone to ask the question. If you're asking question, it will help you to gain the confidence. The third, after the session, whenever you get free, whenever you get the time, I'll suggest everyone to start the practicing. If possible, then go through the recording one more time. And what after the session I'm doing, whatever the drawings I'm creating in the live session, after it, I'm feeding lots of content. For example, these are architectures designing the live session. And after the session, what I'm doing, I'm feeding lots of additional content which will help you to gain the confidence, which will help you to crack your interview also. And it will be not architecture only. It will be first 90% will be implementation, mean practical implementation will be close to 90%. Then architecture designing use cases and other activities like quiz. After every session means suppose today's session is 2.5 hours. So 2 hours and 50 minutes I will teach you. And last 15 minutes there'll be quiz. There'll be game. Means whatever I cover today, everything will be converted in the form of Kahoot. I mean, it's a Kahoot quiz. So there'll be assessment. There'll be 15 to 20-minute assessment. So why we are conducting the assessment session after every session? The reason is you'll be ready for it. Otherwise, lots of people are joining the session, but they're sleeping. They're not focusing. To increase your focus, we are conducting the Kahoot type of game also. Plus,
Another,
after
I want to ask you, sorry for interrupting. I want to ask you, so if somebody is from an IT background, they have like, let's say 5 years of experience or 6 years of experience in IT, they are just new to cloud computing. They have done their roles. So isn't it challenging for a non-IT person? Because I'm hearing, because all the success stories that we have done so far, and we have many, many of them, we haven't been able to reach out to everybody. So don't they find it tough and difficult? Because a lot of success stories were of people who were non-IT people, and I'm absolutely surprised they were never before into cloud engineering. So how come they are doing so well?
okay. So there's a funny story. My son is 8 years old. If you'll ask the question related to cloud computing, if you'll ask 10 questions, maybe two or three questions, I mean, you'll get the reply of two or three questions. Why I'm telling, he's not from IT background. He's just third standard student, but he will also reply. The reason he's just hearing here and there, sometimes he's coming and he's saying what exactly we are doing, what we are talking about. If you'll talk about the IP address, you talk about the cyber security, you talk about the,
Wow.
he will discuss with you. I mean, if you discuss 30 minutes, he will discuss with you. Maybe he'll not be perfect, but he's discussing. So another example is I know lots of people who are not from IT background. So you know Gaurav Verma, he's not from IT background. He's MSc in chemistry, correct? And Shobhit Sharma, he's from MBA. So guys, doesn't matter what is your background. Doesn't matter whether you're from rural area or you're from Delhi NCR or you're from Singapore or you're from Afghanistan. Doesn't matter. One thing
But
is matter.
some people think that you've spent all your time in like Singapore and Malaysia, and you came with a silver spoon in your mouth. So you were very rich and you had all the resources. So can you tell a little bit about your background as well? Because
One, because you never had any mentors or any courses or YouTube or dumps or all those kind of things that we have that are popular today. So you have to talk about yourself also, because you moved in the same way. So give us a one liner or two liner about your own
Sure.
background. How do you learn all this, man?
Okay. So guys, first, let me tell you about myself. As most of you know, my name is Aradhya Singh. I'm the part of industry since last 2+ decades. Prior to IT industry, I was the part of Indian Air Force. So how exactly I started? I was same like Assis. I was also a common student. I mean, normal type of student. I was not extraordinary. But how exactly I started? Usually, I used to work with
Hey, I think he got dropped off. Might be some network issue.
Yeah, I think so. It's been, but it's been. I'll give him a couple minutes to join back. But I think his background is pretty interesting. I mean, he went from being in Air Force to somebody who learned about uh, Microsoft Azure, and at that point of time, it was called Windows Azure. And then
Yep.
he practiced with various places, and that's how he got here. So
Yep.
the bottom line, the message is very simple, that if you pick up from somewhere, one day you have to sit and decide that I want to change my life, I want to change my career, I want to learn something. I don't want to be the red mi guy who says, hey, I'm not getting the purpose of the meeting, when the clear title is sharing experiences, learning from insights. So as far as I'm concerned, or I think maybe Akriti and other people might agree with me, that we are learning insights, we are learning some valuable life lessons. It's not simply about Azure, or one service in Azure storage account and all. We learned some interesting lessons. And Ashish, I'm so proud that you were very candid, saying, hey, I got my certificate from somewhere, and then I felt bad about it, that I did like what everybody else did. But then I decided to change, and I try to have real practical experience with Aradhya. So
Yep.
the very fact that you decide to change your life, and your honesty admitting, because nobody admits this, no one admits this,
Yeah,
but
see, Arun, I like to interrupt you over here. See, this is the reality. Okay, you want to take the certificate, you just go pay in market and you'll get hundred of certificate. But what's the use of it? So tell me that, right? So you have to be like at least loyal with yourself, because no one is watching you. At least you are watching yourself, right? So that's where like getting a certificate is very easy, but it's not going to help until and unless you know it.
correct,
That's the
correct.
real touch.
You remind me of the story of Three Idiots, where the guy is like, he jumps from he jumps from the college campus, something breaks his leg, and says, I have learned the experiences the hard way.
Hard
And
way.
sir,
Yes,
even if you remember that story, right? Three
yes, yes,
Idiots.
yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Uh, so, guys, at this point, we'll let Adhay join in his own sweet time,
I will.
whenever he's able to.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I, at this point, I want to give the floor to the audience as well. So
Got it.
any member of the audience, ask us any question based upon the experiences of Ashish, or anything you want to know about cloud. This is your time, guys. So whether you ask a question in Hindi or English, we'll be very happy to answer the question, whatever you have in mind. So please go ahead. Akriti, Manisha, Neha, Pragya, Renu, Rupam Gupta. Wow, Rupam Gupta is there. Amazing. Rupam, why don't you begin with a question? Anything that comes to your mind. Akriti, I want to make sure that they are able to unmute themselves. Okay. So what questions come to your mind? What is the thing that you want to know from Ashish that is close to your mind? Because we have been speaking a long time. We have been sharing experiences. What comes to your mind that we haven't answered yet?
Ashish said that he attended all the classes of Aradhya and was continuously practicing. So I want to know what motivated him.
Okay, that's a very great question, Akriti. I'll tell you. So basically, what motivated me is, see, I I I saw a bit of the future, not in like I saw the future like I'm doing very great and those kind of things, but I saw it in a like bad way. If I don't do it right now, what would be my next move? See, I have to land somewhere to get a good amount of money for my family and other stuff. I wanted to get a sustainable kind of technology which will sustain for a very longer time. Okay, that's one of the thing that motivated me. Now it's not only Aradhya's class which I joined. Before Aradhya, I joined few classes. I tried few other classes as well. Uh, I saw some YouTube videos and other things as well. But the interaction help you you know mm, uh, help you in being motivated for a longer time. The session which happens in a very interactive way. So that was used to happen in Radha's class. We used to get a lot of quiz, used to get a lot of questions, and one of the most important factor, like people around you who were sitting in Radha's class. So they were like, they all are, we all were like, kind of same. We were struggling to get some job in cloud computing, and um, uh, our forte was same. We want to get to the same place. So that's something which motivated me. If you're doing it alone, you will be doing it alone, and your motivation will go down. But if you're doing it with few people like whose motive and whose vision is same, then it will help you. It will help you get motivated and work on that.
Wow, that's a very powerful thing you said, because a lot of times, because my way of working, Ashish, is that I like to, whenever I'm studying, I like to study alone. And I used to think that, hey, with my intelligence and with my hard work, that'll be enough. But when it comes to mock sessions, when it comes to practice, there's always a person. I've been interacting with a guy called Nilay. I've been interacting with a guy called Sanjay Chandra. I'll just give you names. Even now, when I'm interacting with them, I'm at a different level, of course, now, where I don't have to, uh, you know but when I'm interacting with them, sometimes they'll bring up a question or a point that is unique, and as you're discussing it, your own ability to describe your project or describe your work is enhanced 100 times. I've noticed that most of the people who are practicing for interviews, they are discussing questions with each other. And um, a lot of people. I had a conversation with Akriti maybe yesterday or today morning. She was telling me, "Hey Arun, I will start discussing with people only after I have completed and I am perfect." And my answer was, one cannot wait to achieve perfection and then you start talking to people. You have to talk to people all along the way. Talk to your buddies who are doing in the same class. Talk to a mentor. Talk to people that can. So with every interaction, you learn one new thing, at least one new thing. So that's a very powerful message, Ashish, you gave me. You're almost reading my mind, I believe. Uh,
Yeah, look, my next stop will be astrologer in that case. So yeah, so
okay.
yeah,
So
Akriti,
I'd like to have more questions, people. I don't want you to be silent. I mean, you cannot. This is
uh,
not a movie that we are watching. I want us to have questions. Chahe it is about motivation, or it is about, how do you sustain, or what are the type of projects we can do. Anything that comes to your mind, guys, please ask.
anything career guidance,
So,
most.
I mean, to cut you out there, I am Shruti. So, I had a question. So, you say that cloud computing came to you with a question of relevance, that how relevant can I be in the industry, right? So, that was your question, that how relevant I can stay, or how can I be useful to the industry, or at the end of the day, how can I make more money out of my skill or something that I want to do. So from where did that question of relevance came to you? Did it come from, lack of, roles that you are skilled in? Or did it come from questions that you couldn't answer in the interview? Or did it come from your peers that, oh, they were good at something else? and you were not, and that gave you a sense of this thing, that oh, I am not aware of these things, should I also jump into it? So where did that question of relevance came? Because when you switched into those fields, cloud computing was on the high.
Wow.
Currently AI is on the high. So
So
you should be able to understand the relevant field at the moment and grab an opportunity. So how
So
did
Ashish,
that happen?
so, Shruti is like she described herself prior to starting the session. So she has a degree in engineering, and she learned a lot of things on her own, and she was able to secure a job for herself. She moved to Bangalore, came back to Bombay. So she has a quite interesting journey herself, and I know that her question is from her own experiences,
Mhm.
and it's a tough question, but I'll let you answer this.
Yep, sure. So, see, this is actually a very great question, and thanks, Shruti, for that. So, see, the relevance, this came like it didn't came to me very easily. Like some peer is working on it, and I go and work on it. See, I was that peer when I started working on it. Then few people after seeing me, like they said, like, okay, he's working on this, so they will be jumping to cloud computing. But for my case, I started this like I told you my story. I was working with Lotus Notes and all, and it was like totally obsolete technology that I was working on. Okay, it was like the sinking ship I was working on, and like I was standing there till the last point. After the ship sank, I didn't have anything to do. Okay, I don't have any technology, nothing. At that time I was like around 1.5 2 years of experience I was having. I started looking out for different roles. I used to call few people whom I know, or some acquaintance. Okay, and I asked them, hey, what do you do? Can you help me getting a job? Okay, there was other technologies, like there were sccm, there was wintel. Okay, then there was cloud computing at that time. And at that time, sorry, that cloud computing was not on that boom in the year 2016 17. Cloud computing, it was getting initiated, started, but it was not on boom. It came in boom during 2019 time, 2018 19 time. Okay, but that time cloud computing, like few people were hiring, and we knew like the hiring will go on, and the hiring will go on a full pace after some time. But at that time, very few organizations were hiring for cloud computing people. Now I started. Then I there was one girl, and I know her from she was a friend of a friend. Okay, so I talked to her. She used to work with SAP. She told me, "Hey, Ashish, you do SAP. There's a lot of scope. You will get on-site opportunities and all." So I started reading SAP. See, I was in that kind of mental state. Okay, so even if I met you at that time, Shruti, and you told me, hey Ashish, you start reading some development, you start reading Java, I would have started reading Java. Okay, I gave lot of technology a lot of time. Okay, but after that I settled with, let's go with cloud computing. Why? Because I did my research. There was a lot of places, and there were where at that time we don't have AI, so we can't ask ChatGPT what are the top paying jobs. Okay, but at that time I did my research. I found out, like, yes, these are few things which is not going to obsolete. These are few things which is coming, and it will obsolete the existing technologies, like on-premises servers, Wintel, the Exchange servers, all the other servers. It will be moved to cloud computing. So that's where we gain some understanding. Like, yes, cloud computing is coming in the market, and it will sustain in the market for a very very longer time. Now, even if today's date, if we see AI is in boom, AI is coming, everyone is talking about AI. But see, for AI, you will be running the AI over cloud computing itself. See, from a technical perspective, don't like I generally don't talk about the prompt thing in AI, because prompt engineering, it's a very good line, and anyone can go over there, and anyone can read it out, and you can get jobs, and it will be a very high paying job, everything. But from an engineering perspective, we looked into the applied AI. So suppose you have to create a document intelligence for an organization, where you created a chatbot which will be using a particular SOP, standard operating procedure, and giving the answers. That's how Zomato is doing today, right? Earlier, when you order something from Zomato and you see that food is cold or something happened with your food, you just chat there, and an agent used to come up and he used to chat with you, and he decides whether to give you a refund or not. But nowadays, if you do a chat with Zomato, like something happened with your food and you start chatting with Zomato, it's an AI which you used to chat. Okay. So for a very longer duration, no agent will come up. It's a AI. So it's a document intelligence kind of thing. Okay. That's a AI something Zomato has implemented. Okay. So now that's applied AI. Now where you will implement it? So, okay. So either you will write the complete code for document intelligence, or you will use it as a service which a cloud computing organization like Microsoft Azure is providing to you. So for Microsoft Azure, we have this document intelligence service. Okay, we can use that service. We can integrate it in any of the application like Zomato, and we can utilize that. We can put our document, or we can scan the document, or we can do a lot of things over there. Okay, there's a lot of scope. Now the second one could be AI vision. Like you used to unlock your phone, whether it's Android or iOS, using your face. Now there are like billions of faces on the earth, but it recognizes yours only. So see how much data it has to accumulate. But your phone is having only 128 or 256 GB, or max to max 1 TB of storage. So definitely it's not keeping all the face data in your phone. Then how it is comparing like it's your face? So that's something AI vision. Now, if you start writing code for that, so you need a very big compute, and you need GPUs and all of them. But if you want to implement it, you can utilize the cloud service. So this is also part of cloud, the AI services.
Yeah, in nutshell, Ashish, cloud is foundation for everything. Whether you're applying to appear as a developer, as a Power BI engineer, as a data engineer, IoT engineer, admin, architect, or any other type of role you are planning to hold in the market, you have to start with the cloud. Without cloud, even AI is nothing without cloud. The reason is AI is type of service nowadays. AI is type of service available in Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing. So these are the services available over the internet, and the other part of cloud. For example, the other SaaS-based services. So lots of companies, what they are doing, they're exposing the AI as a service, or AI means that there'll be some services available in the form of API. What you can do, you can consume. For example, face recognition API. So earlier, face recognition API was available in Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing since last 10 plus year. But nowadays, what they did, they just clubbed multiple services together and offering as a package. So guys, if you're planning to work, or you're working as an admin, or you're planning to work as an architect, developer, IoT engineer, BI engineer, data engineer, or any other profile you're holding, or you're planning towards it, you have to go through this path. Otherwise, survival going forward in future without cloud, survival for any professional will not be easy in the market.
Correct. I'm so glad that Shruti asked this question, because within one simple question, it seemed like a seemingly simple question, but I got at least three or four insights much beyond the question. So I'm grateful for having this discussion.
Or
So
you got
I,
insights, I got four more questions here. Like, I mean, from what
yeah, hold on.
Ashish explained himself, and I understood my situation where Ashish was like a decade ago. I am currently sitting on that, probably that threshold right now, to understand whether data is going to go ahead or not. Because as
Correct.
Ashish said, he was working on Lotus Notes, and which was already a sinking ship. My ship is extremely overloaded, so it is going to sink at one point in time, probably in the next few years, or maybe next few months, I don't know. So
Yeah, and
that is
I'm
where my
happy that
question of relevance
I'm
came.
I'm happy that you are taking the steps to jump out of the Titanic, and you're making great efforts, Shruti. So let me ask this question, and these are top two interview questions which somebody has asked me to ask Ashish. So one question people ask is, Ashish, how would you describe your strength and weaknesses if you had an interview question? How do you how should people answer this question? So that is one question, and later on I'll ask you, what are the typical challenges you faced in your whether it was your projects or whether your life so far, and how do you overcome them?
So I would like, I'm going to be on mute, and you can help me. Assuming that I'm a fresher, how do I answer these kind of questions, and what would be your actual answer?
Okay. So, yep. That's like definitely a very good question, and that's a like a very valid question. It happens, and it is being asked in like almost all of the interviews. At least, if not in this technical interview, you will get this in directorial round or the managerial round, uh, whatever you know. So let me take it like this way. So like if someone asks me for my strength or weakness, so first of all, you know that this question is going to come up anytime you're going to give the interview. This question is going to come up. So first of all, try to figure out what are your real strengths and weaknesses, rather than saying like okay, my strength is I am a good team player, or those generic kind of things that you'll get on Google. Okay, I'm a good team player, or I'm like
Yeah, people typically say I have good organizational skills. I'm a great
yeah,
communicator. I'm a
yeah.
team player. Everybody says exactly the same things.
Yes. So this thing, like they're not sitting to hear. Even if you say that, okay, it's okay, but see, they don't want to hear this answer. Okay. So like first of all, you see what are you really like. It's your good. What are your good strengths and good weakness? So that's something you have to figure out first of all. Okay, if I give my answer, how it will help you. Okay, it's like suppose I have a very good problem solving capability. Okay, I see anything as a problem. Okay, anything which is coming up, like suppose I have been given some task to do it. I see that as a problem, and I try to figure out a solution for that problem. That's how I approach for things. Okay, like Shruti asked, and before that Akriti asked about the question like how you moved, and how you see like whether this thing is going to be in the market or not. So I see that thing as a problem. See, this is my problem, and now I have to find out a solution. So see, if you isolate your problem, you have got like 50-60% of the solution. That's a good thing. That's
So,
my way to approach. Okay.
Neetu, sometimes, so you described yourself as problem solving.
Mhm.
So, if I was the interviewer, I'll ask you, can you give me an example of, a problem that you worked on and you solved? How do you go about answering that if you're a cloud engineer?
Yeah. So it depends who asks the question. Arun. Okay. So if it is a technical interviewer who is asking me this question, and I have been a problem solver, now then I will give the answer technically. I'll take this to a bit technical way. Okay. So here is the problem. I have been asked to. I was deploying a solution for one of the application. This application used to take care of the face recognition for the outsiders who come to a company. Okay, so there is a company, and few people used to visit that company. They are vendors, partners for other people. So then there is a kiosk which is kept. They used to recognize their face and give the ID card, and it generates a temporary ID card for them. Okay, so it happens in all of the organization, right? If in your organization or any organization, if some people goes, so they have been the organization security guard used to give them a temporary ID card, right? To visit the company. Getting my point till now? What kind of application I'm talking about?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So now the problem statement was we have to figure out a solution for their high availability. We were setting up their environment in Azure for in two different regions. So for high availability, they wanted to use a distributed availability group in the SQL. So this was the kind of problem, like how they will set up the high availability group, and they don't want to pay for the this active thing. So how they will do it? So then we approached with this solution. Okay, and this will be the solution, and that's how I will proceed. Okay, so that's one way. Now, when I say problem solving skills, it doesn't mean I have the solution at that point of time. You are the client. You asked me this question. I don't have the solution right now, but how I will approach this solution, that's the most important thing, because we won't be having a solution for every problems, right?
Wow. Yeah, yeah, that's a very honest thing to say because to a client, like if I was hearing, because I'm hearing this answer for the first time, right?
So I am thinking in my mind, yes, this guy is listening to me intently, and he's honestly saying that, well, sir, I've heard your problem statement. Here's how I'll approach it. I may not have the solution right now, but I'll get back, and our team will get back to you on XYZ solution. But I can tell you what my approach is going to be, right? So that's very important.
Yes. So that's what interviews in Fang and Mang. Many colleagues and friends are in different Fang and Mang organizations. So they tell me about the same thing, the same experience. Like whenever you give interviews in these organizations, like definitely they look for the solutions and definitely they look for the answers, or not. But they also look for something how capable you are to find the answer for something which you don't know, because definitely you won't be knowing each and everything.
Absolutely. I mean, nobody is a perfect, 100% perfect. So let's move on to the next question, which was, what kind of, it kind of related to the first question I asked, but can you give an example of the challenges you've faced on projects, or in your role as a cloud engineer, what are the typical challenges people face, and how do you overcome them? You can describe any one or two if you want.
Yeah. So like one of the challenges, say sub see, there is one saying, there is no good architecture or a bad architecture. Why I am starting my statement with this line is, see, sometimes what happens is we did something. Okay, we generally how we approach for a solution is, we got the problem, we applied the solution. So we generally just don't go and deploy the solutions. Okay, first of all, there's an architecture diagram that has to be built. There is a low level diagram that needs to be built. So we build those things. We get used to get the client's approval. Like, see, these are the things we are going to do. You tell me, shall I go ahead and do it or not? Okay, they give their agreement. Yes, go ahead and do it. Now what happens after a month or two? They come back. Okay, this is not correct, and this has to be like this. Now this is not correct. I'll give you an example. Like this storage account doesn't have a infrastructure encryption, or the naming convention which you have used, it's not correct. So this naming convention thing that came to me last week itself. I have been doing a project for last 1 year, and I deployed express route circuits. I was deploying a express route port based connection, express route direct, where we don't use a provider based connection. Okay, so definitely we were using a provider, but it's not a provider based connection where we have to select a provider. Okay, I created the express route, and I downloaded the authorization letter, and I gave it to the provider, and they configured their routers over there. Okay, now this express route is configured. This configuration used to take like almost 2 months, because I will configure my thing, then I'll give it to my provider. Okay, that could be Airtel or someone else. I think people not from Azure or networking background like finding this thing difficult. Okay, what I'm saying, but yes, that's how the connectivity works. Okay, so I
Uh,
give.
this definitely makes me feel, if I'm listening to this, and I'm speaking for the audience sake, this makes you feel that the candidate is trying to relate. He's not only describing his challenge, but he's saying, I will describe something very recent from as early as last week, that I face this problem, we are working on it, and here's my approach, here's how I'm solving it. So I think this kind of an approach gives me a feeling that yes, he has been working as a cloud engineer. He's aware of certain challenges, and he has an approach to solve them. The answer that you give may not be perfect, or may not be in my organization. We might be doing it slightly different way, but I'm only interested in hearing how the candidate solves the problem, and how does he come out of a tough spot in the interview, right?
Yes.
So, guys, this is the lesson that I'm going to jot down and I'm going to take from this session. This is how you answer questions, guys. You have
And
to give an example. Always give an example.
yes, and I just realized, Arun, right now, this became kind of interview. You asked me a question and I was replying to you, and that's how
Exactly.
it will work in real interview. Now, you guys, even if you haven't taken any interview in your life, you might have understood like I'm not reading out a script, because what I was saying, you might be getting the gist. Like it is something coming from my experience. Okay, something stupid happened. Something stupid like I created a resource whose which name is not correct. This is like stupid is a wrong word, but it happened like that way. The name is not correct, and people are not happy, and they were asking me to change the name, but I can't change it because the configuration will take 2 months, and Azure won't allow you to change the name. Okay, and the kind of resource which I have deployed, the complete infrastructure is relying on that. It's like the beam of the house. Okay, I cannot
Wow.
break that.
Yeah, and in real life, we can get into these kind of issues. Sometimes it happens knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, sometimes slip happens, and how do you recover from that? All those kind of real things. All that an interviewer is trying to ask is, I don't need a perfect answer. I need to know, like your personality as to how you get out of it, and how do you handle it, and what did you do first, what did you do next, that kind of a thing. So all those things really helped Ashish. So, guys, you have seen how I'm answering tough questions and I'm putting Ashish on the spot and he's able to give the answers, right? So, I want a couple of you, especially Rupam, Akriti, and all those people, I want you to come up with couple different type of questions that you would have in mind if you were in his shoes. So please, guys, I don't. There's no point if everybody stays mute. We keep on doing this experience sharing sessions. The whole objective of this thing is somebody shares his experience, his
Yeah.
success story, his challenges, his insights, and it is your role. It is up to you to ask questions that are close to your heart. Maybe it is something that you went for an interview, or maybe you're studying and you want to see what kind of questions typically are asked in such interviews. You can ask anything, guys. So this
Yeah.
is your chance. Don't waste this chance, guys.
Yeah, one more thing, in case anyone is facing some challenge in your career, so you also can raise here, like whatever
Hey,
the type of
hi
challenges.
Aradhya.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Rupam this
Yeah, Rupam.
side. Yeah, so thank you for taking this session. It's actually really helpful and insightful. My question is more towards strategy while covering this course. So I just wanted to know from Ashish, since he has already transitioned from his uh, previous role to a cloud engineering role right now.
Mhm.
So how did he manage to uh, complete this course and also make this transition so nicely with his working time?
Yes. Okay. I'll answer that question, and I really wanted to answer that question. Okay. See,
Yeah.
when I started learning this thing, okay, at that time I used to work in different shifts, and it was too brutal for me. And at that time, when I took Aradhya's course, after that my shift timing was they used to call it graveyard shift, like, 5:30 in the evening till 3:30 in the morning. Okay, something like that. And it was too brutal for me. Neither I had my Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays, because when I used to come to my home, my friends like who used to stay with me, uh, they have already done their party. Okay, party thing, which is also equally important in each person's life, because fun, leisure, everything, it's important, right? And when I used to come to home, everything is silent, nothing is there. Okay, and when I used to wake up in the morning, it used to be the afternoon. Okay, so for me, I used to wake up in the afternoon, and then 5:30 I have to go to office, and it continued for like next 6 months. It hampered my health. I got I gained almost 15 to 20 kgs of weight because of this. I used to eat like 6 7 times in a day, because when I used to come home, it's a dinner time for me in the 3:30 or 4 a.m. in the morning. So I used to have my dinner, then I used to go to sleep. Then I wake up and then I had my breakfast. Then again that lunch thing happens. Then in the evening I used to eat something. Then at night I used to eat something. Then between the night I used to eat something. And Surbi, this sorry, Shruti, this is answering your question as well. What motivated me? Okay, so this was one of the factor which motivated me to change the role. Now I'll come to your question, how I studied, Rupam. Okay, so generally, first thing is consistency is the key. Okay, you have to stay focused. Even if you're going slow, you have to stay focused and you have to be consistent. You won't be able to, you won't, it's not going to happen like you studied for a week and now you will be able to crack interviews and get the jobs. That's not going to happen. Good things take time. Okay, Rolls Royce is built in 8 months and Innova is built in 8 hours. That's a real thing. Okay, so you have to be very consistent. For the days when I don't get time, I used to find out 15 to 20 minutes at least just to read. Okay, because I made that sure. I promised myself like there won't be a single day I won't be studying about it until and unless I'll get the job. Okay, so that factor uh, I took up, and it took me some time, but yes, like daily at least 15 to 20 minutes I used to give. But yeah, in general days I used to give more time, 1 hour, 2 hours sometimes. But even if I'm traveling somewhere, I used to give 15-20 minutes. I used to read something on my mobile phone. Okay, what Redis cache is or something like that. I used to read it on a fly. Okay, that's not a problem. And that's how I ended up with the interview. And
In short, what I'm hearing you say is, where there's a will, there's a way. Whether it is half an hour, whether it is 1 hour, if you continue to be at it every day, even if I was talking to Nilay Mukhopadhyay, who's our lead from Kolkata, he's a part of our internal team. So I was talking to him and he said, Arun, when I was learning SQL, I was learning Power BI, and he came from a jewelry designing background. He was working in a factory, and now he's working in a great MNC and on a good role where he has gone abroad and he's come back and he's planning to be a experienced data engineer. Um, he's also in the cloud computing. He's also learning cloud computing from Aradhya. So at the end of the day, I asked him, so what works? Why are you so, how do you do this? So he said, Arun, it's a simple thing, whether it is half an hour or 1 hour or whatever time, sometimes in my office, I have a little lesser work. I come back home, I go for a little bit of exercise and then I sit down. Some days I don't feel like working at all, but I've trained myself that I'll sit for at least half an hour, pick up one topic, something, anything, whether it's a definition or whether it's a practice exercise. I'm going to cover what is taught to me in the class. I'm going to focus on it, and I'll go from there. So the simple message was: where there is a will, there is always a way out. There is always a way out.
yes.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
I like to bring up one question, Arun, which is a very common question, and it come across every person's mind, and every mostly I have seen this kind of question in the freshers or the people having less than 4 year of experience.
Sure,
Okay.
and just so you know, Ashish, usually I don't have such long podcasts, but I'm so happy. Like we are learning from real. Like these are hardcore, real battle tested experiences where you've been there, done that, and I'm so happy that you're candidly sharing. I want the session to go on and on, so I don't mind it taking a little extra time, but we want to cover most of the questions, typical questions that come in people's minds. So thank
Yes.
you for sharing, and go ahead, please.
Yeah, sure. So, see, before I start that question or answer, I'll tell you one thing. Why I joined this session? Like, I'm fond of this guy, Aradhya. Okay, because see, like he helped me in changing my life. What today I am buying a flat or a good car or whatever, good clothes. Okay, very expensive clothes or whatever. Okay, so he has been part of that journey. And he has been a major part. That's why I'm here, or else I won't be, spoiling my weekends where my family is just sitting outside my room and
Aradhya, are you there? I want one car and one flat too in New Delhi.
okay,
Okay, sorry.
yeah,
I just want to have some fun. I mean,
yeah.
okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, sure. So I'll go ahead with the question. So people generally ask, this is a basically a funny question, or not sometimes very funny, because some people, I have seen them being very serious on this. So they used to say, hey, what I'll do, I suppose I get 25-30,000 rupees in the starting after reading all this thing, and paying so much of time. Okay, and time is important. So like you are investing your time for like 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and after that you are getting 30,000 rupees salary. This is generally for the freshers. Okay, or like 1-2 years of 3 years of experienced people. Then why should I invest in this? Even a Momo seller earns more than me. he used to earn 50,000 rupees. And that's a question which generally comes up. I have seen that. Okay. So how I answer them is, see, a momo seller. Okay. See, every job in this world is great. There is there is no job which is like I am doing good one and you are not doing good one, or like I am superior than you. There is nothing like that. Every job is good. But a momo seller earning 50,000 a month, that's something you can also do it. You can grab the opportunity. You start doing it from today, and from today onwards, 1 month from today, you'll be earning 50,000. That's for sure. But your potential then will be to earn 50,000 only. Like after 5 years as well, if you see, you will from 50 to you might have gone to 60,000, not more than that. But if you studied this thing, okay, and if you invested your time in learning good technical skills, you would be learning. You would be, there would be no bar how much you would be earning. Okay, today suppose you
People
are.
see videos like MBA chai wala and something dosa wala,
Mhm,
and they want to emulate their success,
mhm.
and they don't realize what it takes to become, and how quickly the MBA chai wala franchise is totally down, right?
Yes,
Because these people start, have some initial success, and they fail really bad,
yes,
so they
yes.
forget all this.
Yes, and like I also answer them. I extend my answer like this way: if that momos wala, extends his business, okay, to like complete Delhi NCR or all over India, that's something. That's not, he is not selling momos. Then he is an entrepreneur. He is creating business. That, that's again a competency, right? Suppose I am starting a business. It doesn't need me to sell the tea. See, MBA chai wala doesn't sell the tea anymore, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
He,
mean, you said the golden word, because for
yes.
every role or everything,
Hmm.
there is a competency. So
Yes.
one must understand whether you want to become a cloud engineer, cloud architect, developer. Every role has a slightly different competency, and as long as you prepare for specific competencies, you can grab one role or multiple other roles. Aradhya, I think, is showing a slide where there are multiple roles that somebody can take up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, guys, cloud is not only in India. If you're working in India, especially some of the prime location like Delhi NCR, Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, so these are the some of the prime location for the cloud professional. If I'm talking about the salary structure, now before prior to COVID, the salary structure was for the fresher, it was lower. But nowadays, I'm not talking about the very high salary. I'm talking about the range. So normally in India, people are getting the salary somewhere between 8 to 50 lakhs per annum. Cloud for cloud profile. I know lots of people whose salary is more than 1 crore. But I'm not talking about those names. Or some people I know they are getting 7 lakhs or maybe 6 lakhs. I'm talking about the general, the salary range for the cloud professionals is very good. It's somewhere between 8 to 50 lakhs. Doesn't matter whether you're the part of SCL Technology Limited, you're working Wipro, you're working Infosys, or you're working with the moderate type of companies. And all the type of roles are available. All the companies are offering all the type of roles. Suppose you're applying to go with the cloud security engineer, you're applying to apply as a cloud admin, cloud architect, cloud data engineer, cloud developer, cloud IoT engineer. So all the jobs are available in almost all the companies.
Ardha, I have one very important question for Ashish.
Yeah.
It pops up because every single seminar I do, I'm asked this question. So I'm going to see what Ashish's answer is. So Ashish, people say, hey, why should I invest my time and money? Why should I invest like two and 2.5 months out of the courses? And I think the cost is pretty, which is very, very, for three courses in one, the price is like really, really low. It is like people are charging multiple $1,000s, 10x or sometimes 15x the amount. Anyhow, so my question was, I can go to Udemy, I can go to YouTube, and I can just quickly learn from it myself, right? And many people do like that. I mean, they get the awareness from YouTube or Udemy, and and then there'll be somebody on LinkedIn. They'll say top 10 questions in cloud engineering or top 50 questions, and they will cook up all kind of PDFs are running around. So, can I be successful only looking at Udemy or YouTube? And what do I get in? I mean, what do I get in Aradhya's classes that I'm not getting from Udemy, for example?
See,
क्या वैल्यू क्या है मतलब what is the difference doing a class from a live instructor with experience? What is the difference here?
yeah, see, I'll tell you. So, what Udemy or any other platform like YouTube gives you is uh, recorded. It's a recorded class. Okay, it's recorded something. Now, suppose I want to put up a session in Udemy, YouTube, wherever. I will just record the session. I will record it according to my experience. Okay, according to my likings. Okay, if I know something in VM, I will record the VM video like that way, and you will learn like that way. But there would be different ways. What is different in a live session is, in live session you can just go and ask the question, hey, why you are doing this? What's the reason of doing this? See, I have also learned a lot of things from the recordings in my college days as well. So math is very complicated in BTech, right? Everyone knows that. So I used to understand the mathematics from YouTube. So there were very few videos during that time, but yes, there were videos where people used to explain you few things like metrics or the different algorithms in mathematics. They used to explain. I used to go there and understand those things. But where I face the issue is, i I didn't get something in the complete process, in the whole process. That's 100%. Like there is 5% of thing I didn't get it, and because of that my concept is still not clear. I cannot ask that guy, hey, what is this? I can ask the question, I can type the question, I can post it in the comment, and when he will see the comment he will reply. Until that time I might have lost all the traction on whatever I have read, right?
Yeah,
But
it's not like then and there they can answer the question. Right,
yes,
absolutely.
but in the live class what happens is you are doing the live screen sharing thing, and you are doing the live project directly. So if something comes up, so you'll ask, you can directly, hey, why didn't you use this instead of using Windows VM? Why didn't you use a Linux VM? Then add now the the answer is more important than the question. Like the approach is more important than the question. If I ask you, we are suppose creating a web app, and you as a trainer used a Windows VM. Hey, let's for now let's take a Windows VM. Then I'll quickly question, hey, why can't we use a Linux VM? Then you will answer me, okay, we can use Linux VM as well, it's not a problem, but right now we are using Windows VM. Then it will give me a clarity, okay, we can use both of them, but right now I'm taking a Windows VM. Now
Got it.
if I have seen the same thing on YouTube, what my perception would be, hey, this thing can only be happen on Windows VM. That's why we didn't take the Linux VM.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Aradhya, this question can be for either one of you. And first I'll go to Ashish, and then I'll ask this question, same question to Aradhya. So, typically it doesn't matter which technology I'm learning, whether it is SQL or Power BI or Snowflake or data engineering or cloud computing or Azure, regardless of the technology. Let's say in a typical class, and this is true of college also. So there are 50 people in a college. Five of them become very successful. Somebody like you, right? And the remainder, uh, they are not as successful as some of the guys are. Why does that happen? Why are some people more successful than others? What is the differentiator which makes one person, like, top 10 people are very successful and the remainder 30 are lagging behind? Why does that? And some people are not even attending the class, or they say, what's the value in attending live classes? I'll just hear recordings. So tell me about the differentiators between a successful person and a slightly less successful person.
See, I like to answer you in this way. Uh, this recordings, the recordings we are talking about, it's a learning. It's a good learning. Okay, but the live session is an experience which you'll have. It just not give you like suppose I'm taking a live session on Azure. It just didn't give me and the knowledge and learnings on Azure. It also give me an opportunity to be present in front of 15-20 people who are there in the call. It gave me opportunity for like the public speaking skills. Okay, those kind of experience or learning you can't get it by seeing a video.
Exactly. Even when we take a simple seminar like experience sharing, there are 3 or 4 people who will be active. They'll ask the right questions. They will learn something, and they will try to not only learn. They are not motivated for just 1 hour or something. They go back and they try to implement what they have learned, or they will ask questions. In my case, I would reach out to Radha and say, "Hey, he was talking about Windows VM. He was talking about Linux VM." And I don't understand what VM even means. So Aradhya, if you don't mind, while I may not be joining a full course, but do you mind explaining me what is this VM about? How does it impact careers, and why this topic of virtualization is so important, or how does Azure handle it? Even if I was Power BI guy or SQL guy or Python guy, there's no harm in asking the right people right questions so that you learn one thing at least, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So Aradhya, आपको क्या लगता है? What has been your experience? क्योंकि
So,
batches में we
yeah,
have had many batches. You're seeing in the COE we run a lot of batches, and some people are very successful, and some people are whatever you do to them they will not change. Why does that? So what are the qualities of the successful students?
yeah. So number one is focus. F for focus. Why? There are lots of people, what they're doing, they're not focused. They're distracted. So if you're distracted, you're not focused, you're not attending the session, you're not asking the question. So this is one of the, I mean, if you're focusing much, the chances will be very high to get the success.
So
I
Aradhya,
just,
what kind of distractions people have, and what kind of excuses you hear for somebody not attending
okay,
classes,
okay.
not
So
focusing?
lots of first, let's start with the Udemy. So suppose 100 or maybe 100,000 people will subscribe the Udemy. Maybe they will subscribe any course from the Udemy. So what will happen? 93% plus members are unable to complete the course. The reason,
Gotcha.
one reason is, say, okay, is their feeling, Josh may buy ke liye, okay, I'll buy it. But what up?
Gotcha.
They don't have the time. They're not punctual. No, they're not focused. They're not dedicated. So 93% candidates are unable to complete the course. Even almost nowadays, almost all the companies are providing the free subscription for
Yeah.
the Udemy. But how many of you are
Yeah.
completing?
Yeah,
Almost.
in many organizations, I see they tell me that we have Udemy and we haven't done anything. We just hoarded 100 classes. I met a person who told me that I have 8,000 Udemy courses in my account, and I said, "How many did you actually do?" And he had no answer.
Yeah, yeah. And the second is, if you're joining the live session here, you can ask as many as question you want. Suppose today you ask 5 questions. Apart from you, there'll be lots of other members in the group. They will ask the questions. So you will learn from your question as well as same time whenever the others will ask, you'll get more question back. Second is uh, means you'll be dedicated. Okay, you'll dedicate your time. Okay, I'll be available Saturday Sunday morning 7:30 to 10 o'clock. I'm going to dedicate my time for this training. So it means you are going to focus, you're going to dedicate your time, and you'll practice. You'll ask the question, plus you'll get the question bank in the live session, plus after the session also I'm sending lots of material to everyone. So
Pradha, did you ever face this difficulty? Because some students come from, because your students even came from Germany or UK. Some people are from India. They are from cities where English is not the first language. I mean, let's say I'm a Telugu guy. Let's say I'm a Gujarati. Let's say I'm somebody from Delhi. Delhi is very popular for even in the offices. In spite of English being the common language, people still speak Hindi.
yeah,
So some people are good communicators, by they are just born good communicators. They have had a great grooming in their families or institutions that they work with. Not everybody is that lucky, right? So so have you noticed that the people, let's say, from smaller cities, they face more problems, or they are much more? Because I'm totally surprised, I'm totally zapped by you, Aradhya, because all lot of success stories that you have done so far, they have told me one thing, that there's a person from Bihar, there's a person from a very small city, Chhattisgarh. I remember somebody was from Chhattisgarh, and even these people have done extremely well. Now, they were not great in communication, they were not great in they did not come from a great background. So what was, again I want to ask this question one more time, उनमें क्या खास बात थी? Unme,
Okay.
like, did they eat a different food? Did they eat a? Did they exercise every day? Did they come and live with you in your house? How these people are successful?
Hmm. So I'll give you an example of Tripti Joshi. She was working as a banker and उसने बोला था लाइव सेशन के अंदर कि मुझे इंग्लिश बोले हुए मतलब पढ़े हुए हो गया मोर देन 10 ईयर, बोलना तो छोड़ दो. And when she started, she said, first two session was really difficult for me. So what I did, I revised the videos. She revised the video 2 or 3 times. Now in current situation, even in beginning, she was unable to speak even for 2 minutes, even for 1 minute. Whatever the question you ask, she will summarize everything within a minute. She will try her best to complete everything within a minute or maybe 30 seconds. But in current situation, if you are asking the questions, she will describe up to 10 to 15 minutes. This is the difference. So the reason is if you focus, see, if you are online, means if you have the laptop, so maybe your communication is not good. Maybe you cannot speak very well, but 99% people are able to understand. So whenever you'll attend the session, you'll ask the question, you'll collaborate with the others, it will help you to gain the confidence. Whenever the confidence will grow, things will be much easier. And what I can do, I can teach in Hindi also. But the problem is during real time situation, no one is going to ask the question in Hindi. Reason इसको हिंदी में मैं क्या बोलूं? Suppose,
Exactly. I mean, you may be able to describe it in Hindi and English as best
yeah.
as you can, but if the interviewer is going to ask you questions
No,
in
how
English,
you will
you
describe?
have to.
You
Yeah.
cannot describe. For similar, I tell you in the beginning is 12 years back when I started this type of training. So during the beginning, most of the candidates were from Hyderabad and Bangalore and Chennai. These were the three prime locations, around 95%. So the problem was most of the people were feeling shy. They were not communicating with me. For example, there's a batch of 20 members. Maybe one, two, or three member will ask the question, and remaining will hear the question. And the fact is, almost 90% candidates are not in India. In beginning, like 12 years ago, the suppose 1 year, suppose total 200 members registered. So out of 200, maybe 170, 180 candidates are outside India. The region, it was the beginning batches when the technology was about to start. It was in beta version. That time they learned, and that time they were unable to speak even for 30 seconds. In current situation, they are posted somewhere in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, America.
Got you. Yeah, yeah.
So the thing is, if you're creating your own barrier, so definitely it will create the challenge. If you're trying to solve things, will be very easy after some time. So that I agree. Maybe your language is Bengali, Tamil, Hindi, or something else. If you're the part of IT industry or you're working somewhere, at least you can understand. Just try to break this barrier. Things are very,
Got
it may take 4 hours, 6 hours, or 10 hours, but it's possible.
Understood. So, like, guys, we have last 5 minutes remaining, and I've taken too much of time of Aradhya as well as Ashish. Guys, please go ahead and ask any question that comes to your mind, because I literally don't want anybody to be mute.
Even if after
So,
this call also, I think most of you have my number. So if you have any question directly, you can call me.
Neha, Satendra, Umesh, please don't keep mute. Please ask anything that comes to your mind. Anything.
Hello.
Jishan,
Yes, sir. I have one question.
yeah, please go ahead.
This is to Ashish. Currently, few days I jot on to the LinkedIn jobs and search for the JD, which asking for the Azure related skills. So the titles was like Azure Cloud Engineer or Infrastructure Engineer or support role related to Azure. And in that JD, they're asking for the uh, Azure skills as well as like CI/CD skills like GitHub Labs or Jenkins and infrastructure skills like Terraform. So, do you think it is really needed currently where you are working? Other than like, I know that in DevOps related skills, these are mostly required, but still companies are asking for these skills in Azure Cloud Engineer roles nowadays. So, do you really think we have to learn other than Azure skills, plus this CI/CD and Terraform and all that?
Yep. I'll answer that question. So anything that you are learning up and above will definitely going to help you. If you are going to learn DevOps with the cloud computing, So cloud computing is a part of DevOps. Okay. So yeah, it's definitely going to help you, but you don't have to learn each and everything. There are a lot of tools available in DevOps. You don't have to learn each and everything. You can start with excuse me. You can start with Azure, okay, and then slowly and gradually you can go ahead in your career. You can start with Azure. You can find a decent job, very decent job, and after that job, or on the job learning, you can learn on different things which would be correlated at that time, and then you can gain the experience, and you can switch, or you can switch the same in the same organization, or you can switch to a different organization. It depends.
Anyone, anyone else, guys? Guys, in India, you are sitting where it is 12 o'clock. I'm literally parked outside. I've stopped my car, and I it's about 1:31 in the night. So imagine I'm spending this time just for you guys, so that you are able to ask questions. So, guys, anyone else has a last minute question? Anyone? I think we have covered a lot of base today,
Yeah.
and I'm really thankful in spite of the. I'm going to Aradhya. I think on behalf of COE, we want to send Ashish a special soup or something, or a special tea that
Yes,
will.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I know that you have offered a flat and a car, but right now his throat is bad. So it'll be great if we can offer him some soup or some tea or something,
Yeah,
some medicine.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
I can see some people saying the session was insightful, and I'm sure. I mean, some people, they'll have questions at the later on. So, guys, we have a group. Aradhya, can you show that group that we have on the screen, so that people are able to understand what group is that? And I think you have put some link on the chat box as well, so
Yeah.
people are able to see that and are able to join that and ask
So,
questions,
yeah,
or
yeah. So, guys,
whatever is it that they want. I mean, they can be a part of the group and ask
yeah.
as many questions or
So
get some
guys,
feedback.
yeah. So what you guys can do, this is the group, Azure Mastery Program. So this is one of the group which you guys can join. So usually what we do, we are sharing lots of material, information. You see suppose okay, let's talk about this one. So lots of people asking, hey, I'm not practicing because of the fear factor. What is the fear factor? If I'll use the Azure subscription, maybe I have to pay more. I don't have such an amount available in
Huh.
my subscription or my pocket. So
Got you.
usually,
So you're sharing ways. So
yeah,
even whether they've joined the course or not, you're sharing ways and
correct. So
knowledge.
lots of material I'm sharing. For example, you see here, Bastion services. So what is the use case for the Bastion and what are the features available? So what I'm doing, I'm sharing small notes to everyone. Doesn't matter whether you're the part of enrolled group or you're the part of common group. You
Aradhya,
see?
can you also show the global career services group, and
Yeah,
maybe you and Akriti can talk about like what this global career services group does, because people submit a lot of their resumes and they are doing LinkedIn optimization, resume optimization, everything is for free. So Akriti, do you mind sharing what we do in the resume LinkedIn optimization group, or the global career services group that is open to everyone? Because we've been seeing all kinds of people: data scientists, cloud engineers, cloud architects, cloud developers. Any kind of IT role is welcome. So Aradhya, yeah, please go ahead. Aradhya or Akriti?
okay. So guys, there are lots of people who are the part of these groups, at least few thousand. There are two groups. One is both are for the global career services. So usually these two groups are full. You'll get huge numbers available in these two groups. So lots of people who are the part of IT industry, maybe you're the part of IT industry, or maybe you're not the part of, maybe you're in sales, marketing, or any other industry you're working on. So if you're facing any challenge related to opportunity, or maybe you are looking some assistance, some help on to LinkedIn profile building, renovation, upgradation, or you're looking some assistance in your CV. So COE is organizing almost every month. Every month we are organizing free session where you guys can join and review your resume, or you guys can join and build up your LinkedIn profile. So
And I want to add, guys, this service we are offering to everyone for free, whether you are a part of the course or you are not a part of the course. But we want serious people because we have appointments for the. We also do. We are top mate. A lot of people charge for this, and they charge a lot of money for this. But we are doing it for free. For thousands of people have benefited from it. Either they submit their resumes in LinkedIn, and they join the group and they ask questions, and we help them with that um, as and when we find time. So, depending upon the role you have, we have a team of experts that can help you.
yeah.
Again, this is all for free, guys. So take advantage. But the rules are you join with a name and your LinkedIn ID. You cannot join if you're putting names like the other guy we had, Red MI, or hero number one, or devil, or advocate. So people join with funny names and they're trying to spam our groups, and we are very very careful on who we let in. So if somebody tries to scam or spam, we quickly take him out. First of all, these groups are admin controlled, and you'll be only able to join if you're a serious genuine person, right? So that was something I wanted to bring to the table as a benefit. All all the courses that are run by the COE have this benefit where people learn from each other, people learn from experienced experts. We also have a group called candidates who want to get referrals. So let's say we have a huge group where somebody is working for Microsoft, somebody is working for Deloitte, somebody is working for KPMG, somebody is working for TCS, Infosys, you name the company. We have candidates, and they are willing to refer you. But the only way is you go through the COE, you ask for help in a professional manner, you set up some time, not like, hi, bro, hi, sis, hello, I want to make friends with you. That kind of a language we refrain from. But if you ask politely and professionally, there is always help that will come to you. Okay. So, and my name is Arun, and you can find me in pretty much every group. I'm the admin of all the groups, COE groups. So, if you reach out to me, or you reach out to Aradhya, reach out to Nilay, reach out to Rashika, reach out to Sanjay Chandra, reach out to Vishal, reach out to reach out to Akriti. We have lots and lots of people who are willing to help. So we try to make time from our personal lives. We are doing it as a give back to the community, guys, right? So please take advantage of it, and don't be shy. It doesn't matter if you have a poor resume. It does not matter if your score was less. It does not matter whether your numbers were not good in 10th or 12th, or engineering, or BA or BCom or BSc. It does not matter, guys. So please understand, people like Aradhya are at an enterprise level architect who's trying to take you from the ground up, from the dev to the administration to the architect level, with a whole lot of experience. Somebody who has seen it from the ground up, somebody who's seen it from last 12 years. So guys, I hope that the session was insightful for you. I hope that you learned something out of it. So, so thank you so much, Aradhya.
Thank you.
And Ashish, do you have any last minute tips? What are the top
Yeah.
three things as tips you want to leave behind for this
Uh,
session?
yep. I will share. The tip is stay consistent, stay focused. These are the most important thing. Whether if you have set up your goal to read this or anything in your life today or maybe 10 years later, you if you follow these principles, you will definitely succeed. So
Exactly. I mean, cloud engineer nahi banna hai to mat bano. If you don't want to become a cloud engineer, don't be. If you want to be a Python guy, like there's a movie called Lakshya, right?
Mhm.
Hrithik Roshan played in the Lakshya movie.
Yep.
The message was very simple. Even if you're a grass cutter, do something different from everybody else to become and find a goal and stay consistent. That's a beautiful message that we, all of us, even though some of us are successful, we need to keep reminding ourselves, because getting one-time success is one thing, but staying consistent with success requires some kind of dedication and focus, like you're mentioning, Ashish. Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah. And
Mm.
Arun, if you can stop recording at the last time, I want to